seen as far as Georgia this year versus last year, as far as where it is in the schedule? How more prepared do you think you guys are for this game now?
I think we're prepared as ever. Just kind of like last season, same thing. We just got to make sure that we don't make our own mistakes. And I know Georgia's going to make a lot of plays on defense and offense, so we got to make sure we respond well.
As far as just the accuracy and finding people, you said it was a lot easier to find people as far as open. What do you think is the key to that?
Keeping your eyes downfield, and even when you get pressure, just making sure you keep your eyes downfield to see things open up and really trying to anticipate.
How much does it have to do also with the talent of your wide receivers now kind of coming into their own?
It has a lot to do with it because I have to trust that they're going to break in their route the right way and they're going to be at a certain spot. And as long as I can keep having that trust in them, they having the trust in me, then we can be successful against some completions.
How much have you seen film-wise versus Georgia? I know you'll probably get more to that a little bit later this week, but as far as what they look like versus what they looked like last year?
I've seen a couple games, and they're still a really sound defense. I think someone told me they were lower down in the passing defense, but still you have to go into the game with always looking to execute, never underestimate an opponent, and never be too intimidated, but at the same time just be confident, go out there and make sure that you're doing everything you can to make sure you're getting your job done and making plays.
Did they stop talking to you about sliding? as far as the way you were running last week?
Yes, sir.
James, are you one of those guys that gets big into looking for redemption after losing them last year? Are you one of those type of players, or how do you approach a game when you play somebody second time around?
No, sir. It's just another football game you got to prepare for, and I'm not really going to do anything different.
With Aaron Murray on the other side, do you feel like you kind of need to match him play for play when he leads a big drive? You need to kind of match that?
No, sir, not really. I just need to go out and make sure I'm doing the offense well and making plays and getting the ball to the playmakers.
And Murray set the SEC all-time record for passing yards last week. What does that say about him as a quarterback?
He's been doing a really good job. He's keeping his eyes downfield. I know he's a smart quarterback, making good decisions, and it's obviously paid off.
You talked about keeping your eyes downfield, extending the play, stuff like that. Is that something new this year? Is that something you've gotten better at this year?
No, sir, it's not new, but I've definitely gotten better at it from last year and then my sophomore year.
How much did that have last year to do with injuries, or how much is it just another year of experience, another year of practice?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, obviously injuries don't help, but just really putting that in the back of my mind and making sure it becomes a habit and I don't have to think about it, I just do it, and it really helps out.
It seems to me that you've been playing exceptional this year. I mean, when you watch film, how do you assess your play through 5 games?
Definitely better than I'd say last year, and there's still a lot of room for improvement. There's little things here and there that I need to get better at, and I'm going to do my best to make sure I continue to get better throughout the season.
What are those things you feel like you need to get better at?
They're personal.
Are there some things you feel like you're doing well, though?
Yes, sir. Just getting the ball in playmakers' hands and giving our guys a chance to go up and get the ball, and they're doing a good job of getting it.
Yeah. Where's your confidence level these days?
I'd say it's pretty good. Yes, sir.
Has it always been pretty high? Even last year, was it pretty high, or did your confidence get a little shaken last year at times?
I still think it was decent. It definitely got a little bit lower once I started getting injuries and started having some doubt, but got a little bit better.
Does it continue to grow this year? I mean, is this as high, as confident as you've ever been going into a game?
I guess you could say so, yes, sir.
James, can you talk about your relationship with Coach Andy Hill and what he's done to help your game this season?
I mean, from last year's receivers coach and everything, the year before, ever since I've been here, and so I've always had a pretty good relationship with him because we kind of interact with the receivers every now and then as quarterbacks, and him moving over and stuff. He's been doing a real good job being positive with me and reminding me of things that I told him I need to work on and things that he thinks I need to work on.
Obviously, Georgia's having some trouble with injuries right now, and you guys can relate to that. Do you feel like you're kind of catching them at the right time?
Not necessarily, no, sir, because if you want to be the best, you want to play the best. And some may say, it's good that they have some injuries, but we want them to be healthy, and so we want their best players out there, so it's not one of those things where people can make an excuse for something or if we do get a win.
Georgia